I just hearing all of this, I'm just feeling so much that, we get the government we deserve. When people voted for the lesser of two evils and instead of voting for their heart, I felt that we really get the government we deserve. That's my statement. My question to you is there any way that we can get the telecommunications and the communications and the airwaves and all of that back to the people? That was our public domain. And I think if we controlled that again, we would be able to control the length of the political season that goes on, which is interminable, because the TV people want to make profits and they love to create fights. They don't even care who wins. They're just making money. And I think we can also get the money out of politics if we, the people, own the airwaves. We give the candidates the right to be on those airwaves, an equal time kind of situation. They don't have to pay the TV. Put them on free.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the agendas we ran on, and probably helped keep us off national TV, which was, we own the public airways, we're the landlords. The FCC is the real estate agent, and the radio and TV stations are the tenants. And they pay us no rent. They haven't paid us any rent for this valuable property since 1934, Communications Act of 1934. And they decide who says what and who doesn't say what on our property, namely the TV and radio, public area. So you think that's an easy one, right? I mean, who's going to be against controlling what we own? Having our own audience network, our own radio and TV. It's our property. We can say, we want 2 hours a day here. We want 3 hours a day here. And then we'll rent you the rest of the time. Or you have to pay rent. We're going to take the rent, put it into studios, and reporters, and programmers, and producers, and communicate with one another, and mobilize one another on anything we want, from serious to humor. Well, I mean, you can imagine getting on national TV without it. See? So, that was a larger part of the Commons. We had a policy on the Commonwealth where we should control what we own. We own a third of America, the public lands, and you know who controls it, the timber, oil, gas, gold, whatever, companies. And we own trillions of dollars of government taxpayer R&D. Who do you think created the internet? Who do you think built the biotech industry? Who do you think built the semiconductor industry? Who do you think built the aerospace? It was all government R&D. You wouldn't recognize it. I mean, it was all government R&D out of the Pentagon, NASA, the National Institutes of Health. 3/4 of the anti-cancer drugs came from taxpayer-supported research from the National Cancer Institute, with no controls on the prices that the receiving drug companies could charge us. They were given all this free. So, you have a dialogue like that. You can't do it with soundbite. But we're shut out of our own property. That should be the calling card. Let's start with our assets. Our assets are the biggest wealth in America. $5 trillion of pension funds owned by workers. That could control the New York Stock Exchange members. That could control the companies in the New York Stock Exchange. I mean, about a third of all stock is held by worker pensions. But it's not controlled by worker pensions. It's controlled by the banks and the insurance companies who are the intermediaries. So, you see, it's not that hard once you get people just thinking a little bit, getting excited. You got to ask them the basic question. Do you want power or do you want to be powerless? You want multiple choice test. Do you want power or do you want powerless? So, you need thousands of people talking to millions of people. Just like the populist tradition. They call themselves lecturers out of Texas, Oklahoma, and they talk to people. So if you have 1,000 people who are talking to 1,000 people a week with these messages, they would talk to 1 million people, face to face, in rooms like this. If you have 10,000 people, they talk to 1,000 people a week in different venues. You have 10 million people. That's the way we got to think. The hell with the media for the meantime. The one thing they can't stop us from doing is talking with one another. And there are a lot of empty auditoriums and empty spaces around the country that we can use to do that. That's